So I'm gonna give you the top 5 mistakes you need to avoid at all costs so that your content is not only engaging, but it actually drives your sales, marketing, HR, and training initiatives across the finish line. The number one and the biggest mistake I see most brands, most companies making is that they're overselling. Every piece of content they put out, they're selling something. They're selling this, oversell, buy this, buy that. No. The number one rule in marketing and in advertising that I like to always say is lead with value, value, value. You know, soft sell, educate your customer. You got to understand in 2020 and beyond, like, people are smart. Consumers are bombarded with advertising all day long. And if you're constantly like, buy, like, they're going to be like, swipe, I'm next, what's next? They're going to go right past your ad or whatever you're putting out there. Like, companies out there right now, they're putting out cool content and they're putting out valuable content that their customers can actually learn from. That's actually going to heighten and make their customer experience better. So that's what you really want to think about. It's not about sell, sell, sell. You know, think in terms of, like, take this video example, for example. The value that I'm trying to add to you is to, like, look, these are some of the mistakes you want to avoid when you're making content. I'm not saying like, hey, buy from INDIRAP, we make the best video. I am saying that, but I'm not saying it directly, right? I'm giving you value. I'm positioning myself as an expert to show you that we know what the hell we're doing and we know what we're talking about. You don't have to buy it from me. Subconsciously, you're gonna keep INDIRAP hopefully at the top of mind when you need your next piece of content, because we're consistently adding value when you see our video content, right? Do not oversell. People will turn that off right away. Value, 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 value. That's how you stay in front of your customer. That's how you engage them, and that's how you stay top of mind when it comes time to buy. Second mistake I see a lot of the times that I like to point out is you really got to be honest with yourself. Are you camera friendly? And it's not just about your looks. You know, are you engaging? You know, are you entertaining to watch? You know, are you able to deliver content in a way that your audience actually grasps onto and they're entertained by? Like, it is what it is. You know, just because per se you're the owner of the company or the CEO or the founder, you may not be. There's plenty of founders out there that know for a fact that they do not need to be on camera. Take Mark Zuckerberg, for example. How often do you see him on camera talking about something with Facebook? You know, it is good to establish a face with a brand and as a company, but if you're not camera friendly, if you're not comfortable being on camera, if you get nervous or if you're anxious, get someone else from your team. Use voiceover. There's a million other ways to produce content that engages and entertains your audience to where you're not on, you have to be on camera. Again, when you're producing content, the point of it is just not to like go through the motions and make a video. You have to start thinking about all these things in your messaging and in your delivery to think like, are my clients, is my audience actually going to be able to use this? Is this content valuable? And if you're on camera, you know, if you're nervous or you're just monotone and you're boring, and if you do it like this, like, nobody's gonna watch that. Let's be honest, these are facts. When you're talking and delivering a message, it needs to be short, concise, it needs to be you. That's most importantly, you need to be yourself. And if you're not comfortable with that being on camera, it could be the lights, it could be the cameras, it could be 2-3 people behind the camera. Either figure out a way to do it to where you're comfortable or have someone else do it. Because at the end of the day, if you come off nervous or anxious, or you know for a fact in your mind that your audience is just not engaging with you, be honest with yourself. It is what it is. You're here to put out content to drive the buying decision forward, to engage your audience, to make people feel at home with your products, to sell your services, whatever it may be. They gotta be comfortable. Again, you're here to educate, engage, and entertain your audience by any means necessary. That is what you're here to do. So if you're not comfortable on camera, be honest, figure it out. There's another way to make it happen, but most importantly, you still need to put out content. Number 3 mistake I see, and I mean, look, when I started doing this in 2010, corporate content equaled boring. Like, corporate equals boring. Like, that's not the case anymore. Like, the game has changed. So putting out boring content is the number one, like, audience killer that I see. It's one of the top audience killers, I should say. Like, people's attention spans don't exist. I'll say it again. People's attention spans don't exist. And when you're creating content, you have to keep this in mind at all times. You know, especially if you're talking to cold audience or cold traffic, people that are not familiar with your brand or don't know who you are, the chances of me Googling you and sitting and taking 30 minutes of my time to watch a video of yours is 0 to none. Like, it's not gonna happen. You know, when you're talking to new audience and new customers, you need to be able to deliver content in small digestible pieces. And once they're in your brand's ecosystem, maybe you can give them a longer term video to watch or a longer piece of content. But you're not, if all you're shooting is 5, 10, 30-minute pieces of content for your brand or whatever, are they actually watching this? Do they care? Like, you care because it's your brand, but again, flip it around. The audience, what are they thinking? You know, that's one way, is it's too boring. Is the music corny? Like I think it's like the ukulele. Like, that's the go-to corporate music that I see for so many brands. Like, is that your brand? Like, your music should be engaging and it should speak to your audience as well. You know, if you're going for a younger audience that is, you know, super hip, they buy Supreme, they go on Hypebeast and do all these types of things. They're not going to listen to dun, 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 dun. It's just not going to happen. They're going to tune you out. So again, music is super important. Me personally, I think music's the foundation of any piece of content that you put out there, right? It's something that's going to grab their attention. So you need to keep music in mind. Put it like this. You're spending all this time to create these videos. You know, whether you have a videographer on staff or you're hiring a video production agency, you're investing time and money into your content. You need to think about how boring it is and if your audience is even going to care to watch it, right? You need to be thinking about return on investment at every step of content creation and content marketing, right? If something's boring, you're not going to be interested, right? Would you go to Six Flags if it was boring? Would you go to Disney World if it was boring? Would you go to Las Vegas if it's boring? No. You wouldn't do anything that's boring, you know, if it's up to you. So even if it is corporate content, if it is sales and HR and training content, it needs to be engaging and entertaining at some level. Just because you're creating corporate content doesn't mean it needs to be some dry, boring. That's over with. That was done. That stopped when we started INDIRAP in 2010. You know, you need to engage, you need to entertain and educate. That's the goal, and that's what every piece of content needs to do that you're putting out. Content killer number 4, low production value. Yeah, I can just shoot it on my iPhone. Yeah, you can just shoot a video on your iPhone. That's cool. You could do that, but at what cost? You're selling a BMW, right? You can shoot it on your iPhone. Some people can get away with that. But if you're a company and a brand out there that really takes your company or your brand seriously, like the quality of your content, especially now with the amount of content being put out every day, being uploaded to YouTube, Instagram, whatever, you need to be able to create content at a high level that, A, you look good, so you need some good lighting, that you can hear me, so you got a good microphone so I can hear you. If you got a camera over there and you got the I see these videos all the time where it's like, it's a guy with a whiteboard in his grandmother's basement and the audio's echoing, you know, it's just terrible. Hey, if you buy, nobody's gonna watch that. It's boring. Again, it goes back to that, like, I wanna see I wanna hear crispy sound, I wanna see good lighting, I wanna see things look wonderful and beautiful, and if you're selling a product or service, and if you're serious about doing that, you need to do the same thing. If you're selling real estate, if you're selling a $30 million penthouse, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Why? Just hire somebody to do it for you. Because the odds of you selling off of an iPhone video versus something that costs you a little bit of change to produce is like night and day. You know what I mean? And I think now a lot of people are starting to understand that, and you know, which is good for production companies, obviously. But in creating content, there's the shooting side. Yeah, you can shoot it on your iPhone, but then what does editing the content look like? Are you able to edit it in a way to make it engaging and like fun to watch? These are all things that you need to think about. You know, yes, you can shoot it with an iPhone. Everybody likes to say, I always throw that around because like that's the main thing. People say, oh, I can shoot with your iPhone. You can shoot with your iPhone, but we can do it 10 times better. If you let us do it, you're gonna sell 1,000 of those versus 0. It's like anything else with a brand. You put all that time and effort to create the best product out there, you know, to deliver the best service. Why in the world would you put the delivery of that service at risk or the marketing or the advertising of that service at risk with poor production quality. You're not doing yourself justice. You know, your production is just as important as the quality that goes into creating your product or service, no matter what brand, what industry you're in. It's extremely important, and it will be a determining factor of how that content resonates with your audience. The number 5 reason I see a lot of video marketing plans fail is that the content's just not recyclable, shareable, right? When you're putting ideas together to create content, the content shouldn't be a one-time only, you know, kind of use. You know, I'm gonna shoot this content, I'm gonna post it to Facebook, and that's it. When we're creating content here at INDIRAP, like this video, I can use this content until the content in this video is irrelevant, which ain't gonna be for a long time, right? So when you're putting ideas together for video, you need to think about the lifeline of that video, how long it can be used, right? For me, it's like this. Yeah, we're gonna post this to YouTube. Yeah, it's gonna be on Instagram, right? That's just like the tip of the iceberg or whatnot. This video will be recycled thousands of millions of times because it's gonna go into all of our email drips that goes out every time somebody, you know, signs up on one of our sales funnels or landing pages. So this video is gonna consistently go out over and over and over and over for years to come without me even knowing about it. On top of that, our sales team is gonna be able to use this video to sell to our potential clients that may have questions. This is like an FAQ video. You know, these are some of the reasons your videos are failing. This is how we can help, right? This can be sales funnel landing page content, right? This can be training content for new people that come on at INDIRAP, whether they be shooters, editors, salespeople. Again, that's how I think about content whenever we're producing, because ROI is at the top of my mind. My time is extremely valuable, money is extremely valuable, so the time that you take to create a piece of video content, the money that goes behind it, you need to make sure that that piece of content works for you 24/7, around the clock, across your entire ecosystem of brand, right? Whether that's advertising, sales, marketing, whatever. It should not just be a piece of content that you post one time and that is it. If you shoot a longer video, chop it into 20 different shorter videos that you can sprinkle across different parts of your business. Like, again, I'll just say this. Whatever you're producing, whatever you're putting out there content-wise, you need to stretch out the lifetime of that video for as long as possible, because the longer you can use that video, the more eyes you can get it in front of. And I always compare it to this. It's like having a product on one shelf at Walmart versus 100 shelves at Walmart. The person that has their product on one shelf versus the person that, you know, has it on 100 shelves, guess who's gonna sell more? Guess whose chances of getting their product bought goes through the roof? The person with their product on 100 shelves. So when you shoot a piece of content, think of all those shelves. This is distribution strategy I'm talking right now. Think of all the shelves that you can put your video on. It's not just posting to YouTube, and it's not just posting to Facebook, and it's not just posting to LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta take that content and push it out more. I got a sales call coming in. Until next time, thanks for watching. Hey, John.
Yo, what's good, man? Sorry,
One second. I gotta sign off this YouTube video. So that's John Burke. He's one of our sales team members. He's using video content right now to sell. So with that being said, until next time, make sure you hit the notification bell, hit the like button, be sure to subscribe. There's a ton of content coming out every week here at INDIRAP. Until next time, peace. Yo.